Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 2. I know that this week we start doing a little bit of data analysis, so I thought we could join together and do some of the data analysis together. And so I'm going to set up my computer. There's going to be a few pauses here and there where we do some data analysis together, but I'm going to have to kind of move it around as we go. Also, if you hear a little bit of whining in the background, we do have a border collie who for some reason is very shocked when I talk on a video. And so she'll sometimes whine. And so if you hear that, please ignore it as much as possible. So here is our discussion board post for the week, and that's where we'll start. And we are going to look at some data and find some information together. So first, we just click into the link that's provided, that property price data, and click use template, and it's going to populate, and there's a lot of data there. And so you're going to be able to make some changes to the data as we go. You can, if you want, you can shuffle the data like we do for the assignment, or you don't have to. So I will go ahead and show us how to do that before we get started, since you'll need to do that next. So go into your power tools. If you don't have those yet, you can enable those. They are going to be one of your extensions up here that you can enable. So we're going to shuffle them so that way we get different data for our 30 sample that we need, because if you notice, there's a lot of houses up here, and then as you go down, you're going to see more of the other units, the townhomes and such. So let's randomize it so that way we have different data for our sample than the first 30. So you're going to click in this corner right here that selects all the data, and then click random, and then shuffle and entire rows. That way we get the whole data. And so quick shuffle. It takes a little bit of time. Like I said before, you're going to do this again for the assignment. So this is kind of running you through the same thing with the exact same data set. So you do not need to do it twice. So if you want to start out by shuffling the data and then doing the assignment first and then coming back to the discussion board, that would work as well. So we're going to get rid of anything more than 30, because we only need 30 samples. So we're just going to select them all the other ones that we don't need, and we are going to delete those. Sorry for the pauses, but it's kind of a slower process. Okay, so we deleted those. And you'll notice in the assignment, we are just looking at prices. And so I think sometimes when we see data that we're not going to be using, we can get confused. And so if you wouldn't mind, when you're doing your discussion board, to go ahead and delete these. Oops. If you ever make a mistake, go here, and I need to delete the cells and shift left. Sorry, those are our prices, and this is our type of unit, and this is apparently like our location. And so we are just finding information about here. So we didn't need that data. And so that's why I deleted it. And so now we are going to go back and do some other information. It says we need a minimum. You're going to have different data than your classmates because everybody's sample is going to look a little different. So we need the minimum, we need quartile 1, mean, median, quarter 3, and maximum value. So our minimum is just the minimum home value. And so we can find that really easy by going to quick actions under our power tools and apply function and minimum. And it will find it for us. Sometimes it's a little slow. If your computer may be faster than mine, you may notice that it goes a little faster. Well, I'm here, I'm going to do the maximum 2. This is the maximum home price. Good to see the huge range there. Next, we'll do the median or mean. I'm sorry. They call this the average. So just find the average. Mean and average are the same thing. And then now we're going to go back. These are all under apply function. We're going to do the median. Okay. And now that we have done these, we can find the quartiles 1 and 3. They are found under this function. You can also, if you are interested, you can use this set of tools instead. I just like to use the power tools for some of those easier ones. And so for this one, we have to go down to quartile. And then we are going to click quartile. We're going to select this. And then we're going to do a comma 1, since this is our first quartile. And so that is our first quartile for this sample. And we're going to do that again. So go back to statistical, go to quartile, and then select our data that we want it to check, and then comma 3, since this is the third quartile. So there you have all the information you're going to need for this discussion board there. And then it asks you to create a chart of your choosing. So here we click insert and then chart, and it will open to charts. It opens immediately to a pie chart. You can select any different chart. If you hover over it, it'll tell you what kind of chart it is. A lot of people tend to do histogram because we could look at frequencies, like how many houses are in this range of prices. So let's go ahead and do a histogram. So that histogram is for these prices right here. And so we can see that there are a number of different, hold on, let me make sure I have that data right. Okay, so I think I've messed up there. Sorry, you may get a little bit of an error. Select your data before you go into create, insert a chart. I'm not sure that I had my data quite right. So select your data and then go into insert chart and then select histogram. I don't remember if that was right or not. So then what it asks you to do that confuses students a lot is to add a title to that. And so you can customize your histogram in a number of ways. Here are the titles. So you could do home price histogram, and then you can have your home price right on top. You can do a lot of different things. It has some different titles that you can add. There are axis titles that you can add as well. If you wanted to do a horizontal axis title, which is this at the bottom, which would be home prices, you could write home prices. If you want to do a vertical one, you could do number of homes that are in that range. And then you are finished. You can move that there, and then you have the data you're looking for as well as your graph. Keep in mind your graph won't look like mine because if you're shuffling or using different data, your data is not going to look the same. And so I hope this gives you an example of what your discussion board should look like. Keep in mind you could use any number. Hold on, let me check that again. If you don't want to do a histogram, they're kind of not as interesting as some other charts. You could do a fun pie chart. You could do, and all of that is going to be the same. So if we did the pie chart, we just collect down here, and then we can do whatever we want to that as well. We could add the title, pie chart of home, assuming I can type, prices, and then you could go back and change a subtitle. You can do whatever you want to create that legend and see how it immediately shows up so you know you're correct. So now the other big assignment this week, remember we have an open math assignment as well, but I figure at this point, since we went over it in the first week, you have a good idea. You have 3 attempts for each question. But they're during that first attempt. So you don't get to try the assignment 3 times. It's while you're in it. If you miss it, it'll give you another try on it. So let's do our other assignment. This week, you don't have to send that over to me requesting approval or anything like that. So I hope that that makes you comfortable. If you need help, let me know. Here is what that data set looks like. It's the same data set we're using here. I'm just opening it again. If you don't have it, I'll show you real quick. You can go back into week 1 and go to the assignment, and that data set is right there. So I'm going to move that back out of our way, and we're going to click use template again. And remember, first we're going to shuffle because we want to get a really unique sample for our data. So here in a little bit, our power pack will show up, and then we can use it to shuffle our data. We're going to use 300 instead of 30. We're also not going to get rid of any of this information here. So we're going to click randomize and shuffle entire rows, click shuffle. Oh, I am sorry. Error, you have to select all the data. Click this box up here in the corner and you'll select it all, and then it'll work to shuffle the data that you have. And so it's shuffling right now. This process is a little slow. I don't like videos to have tons of open space. Maybe it gives you a chance to go ahead and work on it with me, but you could always click pause as I'm going through this if you want to do it one step at a time, and then use that shuffle as it goes. I apologize. Okay, now it's finally shuffled. So what we're going to do is the same thing we did before. We're going to go down to 300 because it wants 300. Oops. And we are going to start selecting the data from 301 down. And we are going to delete all of this data because we only needed the assignment asked for 300. So we're going to select just 300. It says, let's see. Now we are going to sort the data after we get our sample. So we want to sort it by the type of house. We have a unit, which is U, a home, which is H, and a T, which is townhome. So we are going to click this, and then it gives you these instructions in the assignment. So let's go through these together. It says data, and then we're going to sort the sheet. We're going to sort it by this column. So we're going to select B, the column first, right up here at the top. Just click it with your mouse and then click sort sheet, and then by column. This way, every single other column is going to sort as well. If you just go down here to sort range, it's just going to sort them by H, U's, and T's. And this other information that correlates with that unit is not going to sort along with it. So we're going to do it in A to Z alphabetical order. And so you'll notice all of your data has changed. You'll have H first, and then T, and then U. And so the last part of the assignment, oh, I apologize. When we found our random sample, we were supposed to move that over to here once we had it. So I forgot to do that. We should have copied and pasted our random sample over from here. Copy, and we should have pasted this over here. And so, oops, I'm sorry. I'm just making all sorts of errors. Okay, start at the top cell and then copy and paste it. Once you have it here, it wants us to separate them into homes, townhomes, and units. So our data that we have for homes is going to be on the top. So we are going to select that with our mouse and copy, paste it into here, go back to our sample, and then we have townhomes, not as many, you'll notice. Right click and copy, go over to townhomes and paste. And then we have a lot of units, it looks like. So we highlight those, copy, and paste. and then save this file and submit it to the classroom. And that is what is required for our 2 big data assignments this week. I hope you found this to be helpful. If you need anything, please let me know. Have a great week.